Queen Elizabeth II has died, Buckingham Palace announces. But before we continue, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you are new here, and turn on the notification bell for the latest updates. Queen Elizabeth II, the UK's longest-serving monarch, has died at Balmoral aged 96 after reigning for 70 years. Her household gathered at her Scottish property after worries grew about her fitness formerly on Thursday. The Queen got here to the throne in 1952 and witnessed big social change. With her death, her eldest son Charles, the former Prince of Wales, will lead the USA in mourning as the new king and head of the country for 14 Commonwealth realms. In a statement, His Majesty the King said, "The dying of my like mom, Her Majesty the Queen, is a second of the biggest disappointment for me and all individuals of my family. We mourn profoundly the passing of a cherished sovereign and a much-loved mother. I recognize her loss will be deeply felt for the duration of the country, the realms, and the Commonwealth, and using endless human beings around the world." He sat throughout the length of mourning and prayed he and his household would be comforted and sustained using our expertise of the recognition and deep affection in which the Queen used to be so broadly held. In a statement, Buckingham Palace said, "The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen consort will continue to be at Balmoral this nighttime and will return to London tomorrow." All the Queen's teens travelled to Balmoral Close to Aberdeen after docs positioned the Queen beneath clinical supervision. Her grandson, Prince William, is additionally there, with his brother, Prince Harry, on his way. Prime Minister Liz Truss, who was once appointed through the Queen on Tuesday, stated the monarch provided us with the steadiness and power that we needed. She stated His Majesty would be recognized as King Charles's third. Obituary: a lengthy lifestyle marked by using a feeling of duty moment her loss of life was once introduced. Queen Elizabeth's second tenure as head of the country spanned post-war austerity, the transition from empire to Commonwealth, the cease of the Cold War, and the UK's entry into, and withdrawal from, the European Union. Her reign spanned 15 top ministers beginning with Winston Churchill, born in 1874, and which includes Ms. Truss, born 101 years later in 1975. She held weekly audiences with her top minister all through her reign. At Buckingham Palace in London, crowds anticipating updates on the Queen's situation started crying as they heard of her death. The Union flag on the pinnacle of the palace used to be reduced to half-mast at 1830 BST. The Queen used to be born Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor in Mayfair, London, on 21 April 1926. Few ought to have foreseen she would grow to be monarch. However, in December 1936 her uncle, Edward VIII, abdicated from the throne to marry the twice-divorced American, Wallis Simpson. Elizabeth's father grew to be King George VI, and, at age 10, Lilibet, as she was once recognized in the family, grew to be an inheritor of the throne. Within 3 years, Britain used to be in combat with Nazi Germany. Elizabeth and her youthful sister, Princess Margaret, spent an awful lot of wartime at Windsor Castle after their dad and mom rejected recommendations. They are evacuated to Canada. After turning 18, Elizabeth spent 5 months with the Auxiliary Territorial Service and discovered fundamental motor mechanic and writing skills. "I started to recognize the esprit de corps that thrives in the face of adversity," she recalled later. Through the war, she exchanged letters with her one-third cousin, Philip, Prince of Greece, who used to be serving in the Royal Navy. Their romance blossomed, and the couple married at Westminster Abbey on 20 November 1947, with the prince taking the title of Duke of Edinburgh. She would later describe him as my power and stay through 74 years of marriage, earlier than his dying in 2021, aged 99. Their first son, Charles, used to be born in 1948, accompanied using Princess Anne in 1950, Prince Andrew in 1960, and Prince Edward in 1964. Between them, they gave their mother and father 8 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren. Princess Elizabeth used to be in Kenya in 1952, representing the sick king, when Philip broke the information that her father had died. She at once lowered back to London as the new queen. "It was once all a very surprising variety of taking on and making the quality job you can," she later recalled. Elizabeth was once topped at Westminster Abbey on 2 June 1953, aged 27, in front of a then-record TV target audience estimated at greater than 20 million people. Subsequent a long time would see incredible change, with the cease of the British Empire in foreign places and the swinging 60s sweeping away social norms at home. Elizabeth reformed the monarchy for this much less deferential age, enticing the public via walkabouts, royal visits, and attendance at public events. Her dedication to the Commonwealth was once steady. She visited each Commonwealth United States of America at least once. But there had been durations of non-public and public pain. In 1992, the Queen's annus horribilis, hearth devastated Windsor Castle, a personal house as properly as a working palace, and 3 of her kids' marriages broke down. After the death of Diana, Princess of Wales, in an auto accident in Paris in 1997, the Queen drew criticism for performing reluctant to reply publicly. There had been questions about the monarchy's relevance in current society. No institution must count on to be free from the scrutiny of those who provided their loyalty and support, now not to point out those who don't, she acknowledged. Thanks for watching and please subscribe.